Welcome to the Progressive Mind Show. My name is Senna, aka ACKNKOWLEDE, and we're glad to be coming your way. We shall be right back after this short break. This is the Progressive Mind Show. My name is Senna, aka ACKNKOWLEDE. Here is where we build our communities through dialogue. We are very excited to be coming away this evening, and we want to talk about the reflections. We want to look at how the year has been so far individually. So this evening we'll have friends, loved ones who will be joining us on the platform to basically have a look at how 2022 has been to all of us. And so we are hoping that you will join us. We are live currently on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. We encourage that you share the feed wherever you're watching us. Once you come on, be part of the conversation as we collectively build our community. But we'll go to Captain Mike right now to take his segment. Right after that, my co-host is here, and other guests will be joining us to look at 2022. Captain Mike is ready. My brother, you can take it from here.
All right. Right now at Midway Airport, looking at 44 degrees. Winds are out of the south, 20 miles an hour, gusting up to 30. So, keep your hands on those hats. Make sure they don't get blown away. And take a look at the forecast for the rest of tonight. A low of about 4 is going to be about 10 degrees above our normal low. And looking at tomorrow, let's say for the rest of the week, we're going to be above our average high of 34 degrees. So tomorrow, going to get up to 50 degrees, a slight chance of rain. I'm not really calling for a forecast for it, but you may get a few sprinkles here and there. Same thing Friday, high of 40, maybe a chance of some rain. Saturday, high 37, and a slightly better chance of rain midday. Sunday, 45 degrees. Winds are going to switch out of the south. Monday, we're going to warm up greatly, about 53 degrees there. And we're going to call for our best chance of rain for that week, late Monday into Tuesday. And Wednesday, we're going to struggle to get maybe 50, but I'm going to call it about 45 degrees and maybe a slight chance of rain late. So really a warm-up. It's really going to feel good after this last outbreak, and hope everybody came out okay. In sports, the Bucks are going to be at the Bulls tonight, 7 p.m. Now we're talking about the health and fitness report. Let's talk about frostbite. Hopefully no one got it this past week, but the winter's just starting, so now we still have to look out for those cold temperatures. What is frostbite? Well, frostbite is an injury caused by the freezing of the skin and the underlying tissue. Your exposed skin is vulnerable. What are some of the symptoms? If your skin feels cold, you have a prickly feeling, some numbness, some discoloration, maybe a hard, waxy skin, or blistering after you rewarm your hands, that is probably some moderate frostbite. Seek medical attention if you have any pain, swelling, inflammation, or discharge in the area of the frostbite. Or if you have some fever or new unexplained symptoms after coming in from the cold, yeah, definitely get hold of your doctor or your medical professional. Seek immediate medical attention if you have any symptoms of hypothermia. So that would include intense shivering, you just can't warm up, maybe slurs speech, drowsiness, loss of coordination. If you suspect someone has hypothermia, wrap them in warm blankets while you wait for help to arrive. And if possible, if they're in wet clothing, get the wet clothing off of them. Protect their areas that have been frostbitten from further cold. Don't walk on frostbitten. If you suspect your feet have been frostbitten, don't walk on them. And if you have any kind of pain, you can also use a pain reliever to help reduce some of that. So what are some of the ways we can prevent frostbite? Limit the time outside. If it's 5 degrees or less in the single digit and windy, it's cold. It's dangerous. Try to stay as much as possible. Wear a hat that covers your ears. Wear socks that wick away moisture, and watch for signs of frostbite. Try to limit alcohol because that does, you lose your heat faster when you're drinking. So there's that. Stay hydrated and try to keep moving because that promotes the blood. So with those tips, Cena, I'm going to go back to you.
Captain Mike, thank you so much. We appreciate the updates. Today is, like I said, the last Wednesday of the Progressive Mind Show, and of course the year. It is December 2028, December 28, 2022, and we want to look at, as I stated earlier, things. Of course, we wouldn't be able to talk about everything, but there's a need for us as a platform, as an organization, to just reflect on some of the things that we have experienced as individuals or even family members during the year. And so as we are closing this year, we want to look at that. And so we would go into our friends and family later to have this conversation. We'll have a few people who will be joining us, and feel free to be part of this discussion. As I said, it's 16 minutes past 6 p.m. Central, December 28, 2022. This is the last show for the year. This is the last episode on the Progressive Mind Show for the year. We're grateful. Let's go now to our friends to have a conversation about 2022. We have Angie Mims, our co-host. Angie, good evening, and I hope that you're feeling much better.
I am coming along. Thanks to Captain Mike and all of his tips. I know what to do to keep in good health. So thank you, Captain Mike. And yes, thank you, Senna. I'm feeling better.
Much better. Thanks for sharing. Captain Mike, you just give us a great update. Always appreciate you for your work. My brother just joined us. Victor A. Victor, this is the first time you're joining us. Please take a moment. Just tell us a little bit about who Victor is. I'm curious about what of the A. I don't know what the A stands for.
What the A stands for. Yeah, so I'm Victor A. A stands for Aberdeen. Live here in Chicago. I'm a first generation Sierra Leonean immigrant. So I was born here in the States. My family's back in Sierra Leone. Met the host here at a African event. It's probably about 2 months ago. We spoke briefly, and really thankful that you invited me on the show. And I just hope to reflect with you guys and continue to be a part of this group and organization, because a lot of the values and the goals of this group realign with my personal values. I'm definitely big on seeing the diaspora united, especially based on my background being a first generation immigrant. So very happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Captain Mike. You have no, Victor. Thank you so much for sharing. That was very insightful. Captain Mike, you have been with us since 2017. This is the first time no, I think it's about the second time we're going to be engaging you on a lengthy conversation aside your segment. Um, do you want to tell our audience what inspires you, or what first of all inspired you to do the segment, and what has kept you to stay on the course till now, and then we can look at the year.
Well, you know what? It was maybe something silly that I had on a bucket list because I was inspired to do. I've been around airplanes and flying my whole life. A couple uncles were Tuskegee Airmen, but I was also interested in weather, and kind of on a bucket list. Say, hey, I want to do television weather also. So I did the media school and got in contact with you. And you were at the time we were doing radio, so which was perfect for me. I have a great face for radio, so whether on the radio, and we clicked, and you decided to move to more of a visual medium. So I kind of freaked out about that, but it is what it is. So it actually kind of checked the box that I always wanted to do. So I always wanted to do the television weather and be a forecaster, study weather. So here we are, flying airplanes and doing weather. So I can't complain about anything.
Oh, thank you for sharing. Much appreciated. I just want our viewers to understand that doing this has not been one of the easiest things. As you stated, we've had people who have come through the platform since then. When we were, like you said, when we were on that radio station, when we moved from there, we went to Q4 radio station, and we've had people who have wanted to be part of the vision. They did come, but it takes more than what you see on the screen to keep this going. It has to be something that you have on your heart, and you have to have the discipline and the determination to see things change in our community, to want to do something about the things that we always think about and talk to friends about in our inner caucuses, in our homes. And I always feel like, and I always say that sometimes it's not enough just to think about it and bruise over it and just have small, the one-on-one conversations. The desire to make the change and be out there is supersedes, a lot of our personal interests and a lot of our limitations. Personally, and I'll share this for the first time, and I share it individually, but I'll share it openly. I didn't go to a media school like you, Captain Mike. When you saw me there, it wasn't through a media college program that I did. And I was never a social media person. You'll hardly see me do live, or the last thing I want to do is to do a live show to be seen on YouTube, let alone Facebook. But it was the call of duty. It was a desire to do something that is above me, to override my personal interest and to make some sacrifices, seeing and knowing the disconnect that we have in the diaspora, like Brother Victor rightly said. And so something needed to be done. And so I had to sacrifice and be selfless. I saw, and we all know, the gun violence and crime in Chicago. We know the disconnect. We know the issues that we're struggling with as Black people, as Africans, as people in minority communities. We can't always wait for leaders to do it. We can always wait for people we think should do it to do it. A lot of times, we have the responsibility to make the changes that we want to see in our society. And so these things encourages us. It pushes us even when we are tired. And this is why we're here. And so, Captain Mike, I really want to take the opportunity, I think I've said this before, to really thank you and acknowledge the fact that you have been selfless and relentless and stayed with us and I really want to appreciate you on this day as we close 2022. And in a little bit, we'll get to the thick of things. Naila is here. Naila Ali, how are you today?
Good. How are you all?
We are very well. Good to see you. We'll be talking about Naila. Welcome to the show. This is the first time, but we today we just want to look at the year basically. Angie, I know you're not feeling too good, so let us know how you're feeling right now. But I think the year has been, for me personally, has been good. But let's hear from you. What's your reflection on 2022?
I'm very grateful. Um, I'm in a season in life where it's bittersweet, and I'm so grateful because there's so much to be thankful for, even for the things that have transpired that obviously wouldn't make everyone smile. But I'm just very grateful when I think about the word reflect and reflection. I began to just have flashbacks. As you know, I'm a woman of faith. I'm very, very thankful to God in particular. Without God, I know that, my son and I and my loved ones, we probably wouldn't be where we are today. And so I'm very grateful for every little piece of kindness that has been shown towards me. I'm grateful for us to be able to serve, different communities and be able to help those who may need assistance in whatever capacity. I'm just in a season of gratefulness and just being thankful. And I think the other thing and the last thing would be um, I'm in a season of determination. Like you said, Senna, people may see you in a certain light, but they aren't aware of everything that has transpired in the background to maintain that light and to keep it burning and shining.
Mhm.
And so that's very, very essential. And right at the opulence of what you may think, is it's all over. It's just accept. Sometimes things happen and it brings you back to a point of humility. And so, coupled with humility is that level of determination to press forward. The Bible even talks about pressing towards the mark and, not giving up and keeping the bigger prize at hand. And so when I reflect about this year alone, I'm very grateful. We've had several family deaths, friends, and I'm still grateful because I know that God is at work. And as long as He's working, I can relax.
Thank you for sharing. Leisha, if the purpose of the link is for you to join the conversation, just like Naila, Angie, Victor, Captain Mike. If you are in the position to do so, we would encourage you to turn on your video camera so we can see you and so you can be part of the show and discuss your year, how it's been, and all of that. So please do so now if you are able to. If not, you can watch the show live on Facebook and YouTube. Just FYI, Alicia, if you can hear us.
Are you
We heard
saying
from.
Aisha?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm seeing the I like L. So Aisha, I'm sorry. Sorry for butchering your name, Aisha. Aisha. Okay. Naila, 2022. Long, short. How has it been for you?
Woo, for me. So one, it's funny that Angie asked me to come on the show, and yes, I'm gonna put you out there since you had this great, brilliant idea. Um, I'm gonna try not to do any thug tears because this has been a very challenging year for me.
Hmm.
A lot of different changes. So it's like the good, the bad, the ugly year, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, Last year, actually a year from what's today's date? Like the 30th,
28.
28th? I'm
Mhm.
rushing it. So yeah, last year around this time, this is when I just found out that I was at stage 4 breast cancer.
Hmm.
So um, just a few days ago, I started looking at some of the memories on things like Facebook, just in my phone, because I did basically have like a log to track my journey. And I was very transparent with sharing it. And just to think about how much pain I was in and how much devastation and the mental state, trying to wrap my head around not only just having breast cancer, but at the highest stage, was a lot. However, it was funny because I'm like, how was I able to do all these things when I was just diagnosed? So it's good that, like, even though I had a lot of mental issues and, you know, challenges, I was still like rehabbing my house at the time. We were moving into different houses. I had a newly property. So it was still, you know, like I said, the good, the bad, the ugly. It was still a lot of blessings that came along with it. So a lot of gratitude, even with the challenges.
Mm, mm. Thanks for sharing. It's a difficult thing to always find yourself in these health, in this some of these health situations, and so thanks for sharing. Um, and we, of course, we are praying for you. Let's hear from Captain Mike. Generally, how has the year been for you so far?
You know what? It's actually been a very good year. You know, I can't complain. I've done a lot of things that I wanted to do. Spent a lot of time out in Denver as an instructor, then came back here, came back to the line to fly as a captain. So that really made my life a lot easier, driving to work instead of having to drive then fly to work. But I mean, overall, everything's been going really, really well. Like I said, I'm pretty basic.
So is
yeah. I got a roof over my head. You know, I'm warm. I got food and clean water. I mean, hey, we start there. Everything else is icing on the cake.
You know, some people, when you sometimes, for me as an African, when we, you know, talk to, you know, friends and family back home, you kind of have the impression, or they kind of give you the impression that, oh, you guys in America, you're blessed, you know, but no, you guys don't have any problem. I mean, at least you get that type of impression that you don't really have issues. And sometimes when you hear the stories, you begin to appreciate the fact that life is in itself stressful in America, but there are some basic things that that we sometimes take for granted here. And back in Africa, there are some things that they also take for granted. And so it gives me this perception about how we view life and the things that we value and the things that are important to us. And you know, when I speak to friends back home, Brother Victor, how has it been for you so far? And Dr. Mike, thank you for sharing. We'll come to some specifics.
Yeah, I guess just to piggyback on what you were just saying, you know, just kind of based on your perspective, what you really value is what's really important, and not necessarily how other people or what other people, you know, deem important. So for this year, yeah, I think it was a good year for me. There was a lot of growth for me. I've been fortunate and blessed to, you know, expand my network, meet a lot of people, moved this year. You know, I got to travel a lot this year also, and, you know, just spend time with people I really, you know, love and enjoy being with. So, you know, this year is really good. And, you know, I think being able to travel, you know, that helped me to, you know, expand my outlook on things and open my eyes. And it hasn't been a flawless year. There's been difficulties with, you know, things like work and family, but, you know, just being thankful that I have even those difficulties. You know, still have my family. They're very supportive of me and, you know, just always in my corner. And, you know, my job, it's always there. So just being thankful for those things and just being reflective on just the opportunities and the good people that I've met this year. So.
Guys, do you think that this is normal? Do you think that, I mean, tell me if I mean, you guys can give me your opinion. Personally, I'm seeing somebody else in the back end, Maya. If you were giving this link to be part of the show, we encourage that you turn on your camera and join us just like everybody else you see on the screen. If that is not your goal, you can watch us live on Facebook and on YouTube. So I'm seeing Naila, I'm seeing Maya and Aisha. Trudy just joined us. Trudy, we cannot see your camera. I must give this heads up that if you're using Apple product, sometimes you may have issues. You can switch to PC if you have that, or your phone. Alternatively, you can use Google Chrome instead of Safari if you're having issues with the camera. Okay. I'm seeing people in the background, but without cameras. And so we need you to turn your video cameras on so we can see you just like everybody else to join the conversation. But I was making a point earlier about when the year ends around this time, even in Ghana, even Ghana as I know it, people are partying. The focus is on party. Right now, around this time, Ghana, there's so many festivals, party. And then the 31st night, people would end the year in church and try to pray it out. What are your views? What are your opinion on how people typically end the year? And what do you think should be the real focus? As people having been through a whole year, we lost a lot. Not everybody who started with us are with us. Either some passed, some are hospitalized, some have been maimed, some, so many things have happened to a lot of good people, but we're here. And so I think about these things, but I want to get from you, know your opinion on what you think that as people should be doing getting to the end of the year. I'll start with Captain Naila. You haven't spoken in a while, so I'll start with you.
So for me, I feel like everybody's different. Of course, there's always a reflection or some type of, I think there's a lot of shifting too. Usually people are saying, oh, I want to make a resolution and all of those things, but there should just always be some type of intention. Whatever it is that your heart desire, just be intentional with it.
From your opinion, having seen what has happened to people during the year, what do you think that, I know people are different. Everybody would want to do their own thing. But in your opinion, what do you think that we should be doing getting to the end of the year as a people?
As a people,
what would you like us to be doing from your own perspective?
A lot more unity. A lot more unity. I'm definitely about having a good time, but to me, around this time every year it's just about family and getting together and making sure that you're enjoying your time, and preparing for the first quarter of the year. So whatever that looks like, whether it's business, personal relationships, it's just togetherness and not really. I feel like there's a lot of selfishness going on. So I feel like there should be more selfless. Especially with our culture, I feel like we really do need to get tighter. Get tighter with our unity.
That's a very powerful statement. Bill Morton just joined us. Hi, Bill.
How you doing? Thank you for the welcome.
Well, you are very welcome to the Progressive Mind Show. I'm sure this is your first time.
Yes, it is.
Okay, and we heard a rumor that you're running for office too?
I'm running for 49th Ward Alderman.
Okay.
And everything is going very well. I've been in the neighborhood for about 20 years, and for 13 years, I've been president of the Rogers Park Chamber of Commerce.
Okay, good to know. We have the Chamber of Commerce, President of Chamber of Commerce, in our midst today. So thanks for coming. We would like to know your aspirations in a little bit for running for office. But what we have been discussing so far is just basically talking about the year, having a reflection of 2022. We'll get into some details. So once again, you're welcome. But let's hear from Angie. What should you think? I mean, Angie, and then we'll go to Captain Mike. In your opinion, same question as I asked Naila.
I think that I have to echo her sentiments in regards to we can be quite, I think people in general can in fact be selfish. Some people don't mean it. It's just, you know, how they were raised, perhaps. Perhaps they were coddled. Perhaps they were not expected to produce. But I do agree with that expression in regards to us being more selfless. I know that for me, when it comes to the state of people and my reflections, is that, you know, friendships are very important to me. I don't have to have a lot of them, but if I do allow you to come into my small space, my inner circle, trust is huge. And so I think that we do tend to point the finger at everybody else, not really looking at ourselves. And so if I want trust, if I would like loyalty, if I would like, you know, grace even, then I would need to make sure that I'm demonstrating the same. And so I had already decided in my head that I was going to take it up a notch and be more graceful and extending and having more patience even when I encounter things that I may not like or disagree with. And so when you talk about people and what we need to do, one of the things that I learned in business is that, you know, I hear oftentimes everybody, you know, these people have a motive, or politicians have a motive, or, you know, business owners, they have a motive. Who doesn't? Who doesn't want help? Who doesn't need additional support? Who doesn't want to have someone or an organization back them? So I think that when we begin to look at ourselves and if we know our purpose in life, we'll be able to have more successful relationships and fruitful businesses, and we'll be able to tie those ends that need to be tied within our community. Churches will be able to work with their local alderman and mayor and things like that, and it can be reciprocated.
Right.
And so, but we have to kind of flee from that thought of, you know, oh, they're just trying to take advantage of me. Some people are, but if your heart is pure and if you have boundaries and you know your purpose and you're unafraid to say, okay, what can I expect from you? Let us help each other. You'll see more fruit than you would perhaps hurt. So that's what I think when it comes to the reflections and the state of our people and what we can do to help each other out.
Awesome. Captain Mike, your opinion on what you think people should be doing at the end of the year.
I'm gonna have to piggyback on what Angie was saying, and you know, there's a lot. You know, human beings, we're very complex. So you know, let's celebrate. Let's celebrate the coming of a new year, a calendar year. Let's reflect on what we've lost, what we've gained, and understand that, you know, there are going to be some low points, but overall, you know, let's focus on the future. Let's focus on what's there for us. And I think as a community, there's a lot of cynicism. And kind of Andrew was saying, well, you know, politicians are just there for themselves, and government doesn't help us, doesn't do this, organizations don't do this, and a lot of people are trying to recreate the wheel. But there are a lot of resources out there that are designed to help people, that if we just give it a chance and we realize that we can make a difference, and if we all unify and do and make a moves to help each other, it can work, such as government, such, you know, or all politicians. No, they're not, you know, because, and I'm sure Mr. Morton can and enlighten us on with this too. It takes a lot of selflessness to actually run for office, to listen to people, to try to do things better. He's trying to help the 40. I'm sure he's not there to enrich himself, to put money in his pocket. I know he lives in 49th Ward. Hey, I see things that need to be done. I'm going to try to do them. And if we take people at their word and hold them to it, we can get a lot done. But, a lot of us, a lot of people will just give up and be cynical. Well, I'm not even going to vote because what changes does it make? Well, people who don't vote in areas that have low voter participation, guess what? Who gets the most resources? So, we're kind of our own worst enemy. So reflect, be optimistic, and do what we can to help each other and help ourselves.
Great point, guys. Really, really good points. Naila.
So I think it's the lack of education, though. And we don't know. Now it's when we do know and learn those things and choose not to is when it becomes a disappointment. But I believe that's one of the things that we need to be educated more on as far as the voting in certain, as far as our communities and how we are able to get more money in those areas because of those things, being more involved. But so how do we do that as the people?
No, you're right. I think we all need some education, and that's a great question. How do we do that as a people? And I think part of that is this. If we know better, if you know better, you teach better, and so we have to be our own self-educators and try to reach out and get these conversations going. And so I think that's one way of changing. What we see needs changed with. And so thanks for sharing, Naila. Somebody just drew my attention that our description has on social media has reflections of 2023. So we want to, that's a glitch. We're reflecting on 2022. Bill, thanks for again coming. I want to make this one more announcement that if you are in the background, if you are in the virtual studio and you were not able to join us on video, send us a message in the private chat. Let us know what the situation is. If not, I'm going to have to take you off the virtual studio. If you want to watch the show live, please go to Progressive Minds page. On Facebook, you type Progressive Minds, all one word, Progressive Minds. And on YouTube is the Progressive Minds Show. That's how you can watch this show live and also share it. And actually on my panel, my guest, if you are on Facebook now, if you have access to your devices, you can go on Facebook now, look for Progressive Minds. And actually, this is what I'll do. I'm going to copy the link. The link is right here, and I'm going to paste it in the chat. That is not the link, but I'm going to put the link in the chat. You can click on it, and that should take you straight to the page. That way you can share with your friends. Okay, once you go on there, you can share it. It goes straight to your page. Your friends can follow what we're doing today. It helps everybody. And let me see. I think we have a message in the chat room. Okay, great. Okay, thanks for the heads up, Aisha. We really appreciate that. In that case, you can watch on the YouTube page or Facebook, and I'm putting it in here. So you can watch it on YouTube and Facebook, and still support your friends and your loved ones. Whilst you are there, you can share it more. You can share it some more to your friends and network. Okay, so you don't have to be in the virtual studio. All right, Trudy is also here, so let's get Trudy in the studio. Trudy, how are you doing today?
Great, Senna. So good to see you. So good to see you, man.
So good to see you, Trudy. It's been about 5 years. I'm getting the feedback from somebody. I hope. Okay, good. Trudy, it's been about 5 years now since we last connected. Trudy has a powerful radio station herself. Trudy, take a few moments to tell us who you are.
Well, hello. My name is Trudy Leong, and I am a broadcaster and station manager at WZRD, which is the radio station at Northeastern Illinois University, NEIU. Uh, I love doing interviews there, and of course, we're a platform for freeform music, which is uh, about 6 genres an hour, and it's a lot of fun sharing different kinds of music, especially Chicago music, with our audience. I have been working with Bill for over 5 years. I think ever since 2017 in May. That's been a wonderful experience, and uh, there's so much to do. And in September, I moved to Rogers Park to the 49th Ward, so that I moved in with Bill, so that it's easier for us to we could get more work done. But then we put more on our plate, and we're still we still keep on trying to complete everything. It's a lot of fun, but sometimes it's a little stressful, but still we're very grateful for what we have and all the work that we're doing.
Thank you so much, Trudy. Bill, I know I gave you a chance to briefly introduce yourself. We have been talking about reflections of 2022. We will get into the specific highs and some lows. But for you, Bill, how has the year been so far?
Personally, this year has been a year unlike any other. If you I decided to run for 49th Ward alderperson, but out of the need for fixing things that need to be done, and as the president of the Chamber of Commerce for 13 years, I never got paid for any of that. It was a labor of love. So it's been a humble year. I've been thankful this year. I've given back this year, and I'm very I'm looking forward to the resolution of 2023. There's been bad, very, very, very bad when we're coming down to public safety issues and crimes and senseless gun violence. Horrible, nightmarish crimes in the city of Chicago. Over 700 of them, and in our neighborhood, quite a few. There's at least shot fired every single day, and there's some really, really bad ones. So it's not easy to live in the 49th Ward. I'm not going to compare it to another neighborhood. I'm just saying this is one of the problems that we have, and I'm just thankful to be here, alive, and I'm a community servant, and I'm happy to be of service.
Thank you for sharing, Bill. Trudy, quickly, how has 2022 been for you so far? Your reflections.
There's so much work to be done, so much adjusting to do. Because I was in my old neighborhood for a long time, over 10 years in Belmont Cregan, and then now I've moved to the 49th Ward and Rogers Park. It's different. There's so much diversity, and it's so beautiful. The people are wonderful. I transferred from my old store. I work in a grocery store, and then I transferred to the location in Rogers Park of my. So it's like a new store to me. But I miss very much my old friends at my first store. But I made so many new friends at my new store, and it's just so wonderful an experience. I'm so grateful for my new friends, and then I'll share this with you too. At my old store, I was singing Christmas carols for for donations, so that to feed the family over the holidays, and that was my way of giving back, because when I was at Wright College, I had this wonderful instructor that taught me how to sing. I've loved singing ever since I think I was about maybe 4 years old, when my dad taught me how to sing. I think the first song was Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And then I loved singing, and I would sing to family members, like at Christmas gatherings. I sing, and then at when there was like a Christmas show in the classroom. Whoever wanted to sing could go up and sing in front of the class, and I was always like the one to raise my hand and go up and sing. But finally, I knew that there was a way that I could learn how to breathe and then and sing better. So I was very, very fortunate to have a professor, Richard Gersten, at the Wright College, Wilbur Wright College at Narragansett and Montrose Avenue. And he taught me how to breathe and how to musicianship and posture and singing in the mask, etc., and projection. So I thought I would never, it would take me years to learn the breathing. So I think I started his class in January of 2012 or 2013, somewhere around there, probably 2013. And then then after the class, I kept on practicing it. And then finally in May, suddenly I felt it. But then there was a lot of other stuff that I could feel my voice, the pressure on my vocal cords, this and that. So I was able to, whenever I had some problems, I would call him or email him and ask. And he was very, very willing to coach me because he knew that I love singing. Okay. So I stayed with that class in chorus for a couple of years until I graduated from Wright College. But meanwhile, even when I was at Wright College, I asked my store director at my first store. I sing.
So is this all in 2002?
Well, it applies to 2022. What happened? Because there were a few years when I was so busy I wasn't able to sing. But then I asked my store director here if I could sing, and he said, "Oh yes, sure, go ahead." So I was singing, and I could see that the customers, they were smiling, they were so happy, and I got a lot of donations for the store, and it was a wonderful feeling. But I was just giving you the background of how
it all started.
Yeah, this is my high point. At least one of the high points at my new residence here in Rogers Park.
Awesome. I think that's a great point, and you've actually opened the can for that segment, the high points of the year. And so, Victor, I know you've also had your ups and in the highs and lows. What would you say is this high point in 2020 for you?
The high point of 2022 for me, kind of like how I mentioned earlier, it would be, I guess it would just be two things. I was fortunate enough to have a good amount of traveling this year. Not like Captain Mike, their airlines and stuff like that, but I got to travel a lot. So, went around the country, went out of the country twice today, and got to spend a lot of time with people that are really important to me, people I love. And to me, that's it, and it wasn't just like one singular.
If you say you traveled, are you talking about traveling outside the country?
Yeah, so I was able to travel to Mexico twice this year, actually. Which was,
and it's the first time you're going outside the country?
No, it's not my first time outside the country. That was my first time in Mexico. But just being in a different culture, getting to swim in the ocean, see like natural wildlife, celebrated my girlfriend's birthday with her, and also was at a wedding reception in Mexico also. So it was just a lot of great memories that were made this year. So I think for 2022, those are my high points because the older you get, you can't really keep much, but like the memories that you make, relationships that you develop with people, those are things that you can hold on to, for as long as you live. So just seizing those opportunities to, make those memories, travel, and it really is a privilege to be able to travel, go other places, see other cultures,
right?
Just be outside of the comfort zone, because I think that's the best way that you learn and grow. So
that's the way that you learn and grow. It's almost 7 p.m. so 6:58 p.m. Central exactly, and it's December 28, 2022. The topic for today is reflections on 2020. 2022. We are live on Facebook, Twitter, and Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. If you come on, please share the feed so that we can all be part of this moment of reflections, the good, the bad, as Nyla put it, the ugly. We're hoping that a lot of you did not have ugly moments. Not sure if my feed froze. Okay, so if you're having issues, you can go out and come back in again. And for anyone who wants to follow this platform, the show, it will be on Facebook. It's on Facebook and YouTube, as I stated earlier. The link is in the feed, in the comment section. You can please use it. We want to go to our guest again to discuss reflections of the year. What are you grateful for? For some of us, there are some specifics that we really want to thank God for. Bill, before you came, we were talking about what what should people be focusing on when the year ends, at the end of every year? What should people be typically focusing on?
Life, love, family, thankfulness. Those are very important all around. But at the end of the year, we really reflect on these things. We reflect on how lucky we are, or how fortunate we are. But we should think about others as well. And like I said before, part of success is giving back.
That's a very great point. Thanks for sharing. Part of success is giving back. Naila, I know you share some of your low points. Captain Mike, before I go to Naila, what's your lowest? What would you say is your lowest point, or was your lowest point in 2022?
Oh, yeah, you hitting me?
Yes, Captain Mike, and then we'll go to Naila after that.
Yeah, I would say my low point was a couple weeks ago. A friend of mine from high school unfortunately took his own life, and that really makes you reflect on things and really do some internal soul searching where, we'll go through the same things we all go through where, hey, what else could I have done? Was I a good enough friend? Did I reach out enough? Could I have seen something coming? But, it just really makes you realize that, and not to belittle anything, but, how lucky I am, as a person that, things in my life just seem, good enough that I want to continue, that I don't think that would be a possibility, but, it makes you more empathetic. It shows you that, there are some challenges, some mental health challenges out there for other people that are real, that need exposure, and some people need help. And there are places that people can go to get this help, and maybe helping people to realize that there are places to go to get help before, anything bad, or if they do anything bad to themselves. So, I would say that was kind of a low point.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. Sad to hear about your friend's demise, and that's very unfortunate. It's always unfortunate to lose someone that's precious life that has been taken. And so thanks for sharing. Unfortunately, I think Trudy's line dropped, and so Trudy, you can try and log back in. Again, you may want to switch your device, try your cell phone, use Chrome if that's possible. Rosalind Bates, thanks for joining in. If you want to call and share your and be part of the show and share with us, it's 815-277-5047. 815-277-5047. Getting to the end of the year, a lot of people have been falling sick. I am part of those people. I've been struggling with cough for about, this is the second week. I know Angie too. So If you hear some of the voices very low, know that people are struggling with this weather, and so I think everybody says drink tea, drink tea. So we'll keep drinking tea and hope for the better. It's 7:03. Anyone, the phone number is 815-277-5047 to ring in. Next year, we're going to start the Progressive Mind Show on Tuesdays. We're going to be having the Progressive Mind Show on Tuesdays from 6 to 8 instead of Wednesdays. The time stays the same. We're just changing the day from Wednesday to Tuesday. And then also watch out on our social media platforms for our next event coming up, which is the exchange. We're bringing kings. This year, we brought a king from Ghana to crown Reverend Jesse Jackson. Next year, we're bringing kings. And stay tuned to find out who is going to be crowned the next king of the African diaspora. It's going to be epic, so stay tuned to Progressive Mind social media platforms. We'll be rolling out the information. Let's go back to reflections of 2022. Now, I keep getting a little bit of distraction because I know people are trying to come in. And so please pardon me if I'm not able to bring you, if you are in the back end and I'm not able to get you in. Bill, you were running for office. I think that is very important. We know, first of all, your low points. I don't know if you share your high points already. If you haven't, tell us what that is, your low, and then give us a little bit background of your reason to run for office.
Sure. High points are Trudy moving in with me in my tiniest little studio apartment in Rogers Park. It's really something. We don't have the elbow room. It gets a little frustrating sometimes. The bathroom is right by the bed. All kinds of small little things, and it gets way too hot with those 3 radiators. That's the high point, believe it or not. I love it. And we have our 2 computers next to each other, 2 supercomputers, and they're built to work together, and we're on the same page. And if I'm sleeping, she can get up and work on her ideas. And if I'm, I can do the same. And sometimes she'll just talk to me while I'm sleeping, and I'll have to get up and work on these ideas with her, or these projects with her. It's just project after project after project. We just can't stop. And so I really do enjoy that. I love it. I'd like to make music. I would like to get into, graphic design and other things, but those are just fun things. The low point in this year is my dad was diagnosed with cancer. So, fortunately we got him to the chemo, and we went through all this process, and the chemo is working. The chemo is working, and he's about to end the chemo now. So very fortunate. It was a bad cancer. It was inside the bones and inside the lymph nodes, all the lymph nodes. But the chemo is working, and I'm very thankful for that one. As for the my run for 49th Ward Alderperson, my top 4 priorities are public safety, public health, housing, and employment. I want to make sure that anybody who needs a job can get a job. We've been hosting job fairs every 2 weeks here at my campaign headquarters. Citywide job fairs with some of the smallest businesses in Rogers Park, local mom and pops, and some of the larger businesses in the city. So we want to make sure that people have jobs. I want to make sure I can do free resume printing when I get the new office and all of this. As for public safety and public health and housing, we need affordable housing. We need affordable family housing, and we have a large tent encampment outside in Tui Park right now, and there's like 30 or so. It ranges tents out there, and they were out there during this whole storm explosion, this super cold weather, and I really feel for them, and I feel like if I were the alderperson, I would have taken care of this problem immediately. Immediately getting them at least temporary housing, getting them inside a building. Housing first initiative, making sure they have a house, then we can work on sustainability, we can work on mental health issues maybe, We can work on communication with family. We can work on maybe getting a job, or if that's what's going to happen. But I want to take care of these people without homes in Tui Park in our neighborhood. So, you know, it's a senseless gun violence, and it's these a lot of people without homes in our neighborhood living in the parks. Those are my two top priorities right now.
Thanks for sharing, guys. And I know you have heard Bill talk about his aspirations and why he's running. Your take on some of the pointers he made, some of the issues. Like it's one of the things that he talked about is gun violence. Something that we talk about and do events to try to promote, create more awareness. But anything that he mentioned, that because you all live in Chicago, except Victor, that you want to pick
Chicago.
up. Oh, you live in Chicago. Oh, okay, great. Captain Mike.
Yeah, you got a specific question, or?
So he talked about some of the things that some of the reasons why he is running for office. Again, as you know, as members of the community, you know, we have someone who's aspiring to be in office. On this platform, we talk about, you know, things that are going on in our communities. Anything that he mentioned or he talked about that you really want to comment on? If not, I don't know if Angie. Yeah, go ahead. I don't know if Angie, Naila, Victor, you have picked on something that you wanted to ask him or comment on. But if you do, Captain Mike, please go ahead.
Oh, absolutely. Well, that's the thing that we were talking about earlier, the cynicism, you know, that is prevalent, because some things are just, you know, basic human dignity. As far as people need housing. I mean, that's just a given. And how are we going to pay for it? How are we going to? I don't care. You know what? We all pay taxes. We all have money. This is a very wealthy nation. We should not have homeless people. And I see it all over the country. You know, San Diego is a guy who was about to eat dirty bread off the street. You know, I'm like, no, I can't have that, you know, in front of me. I got to buy you something. You know, it's, to me, it's, I don't know all of the answers, but I don't think it's outside of the human condition to have people to have food, water, shelter, and globally, you know, not just locally. You know, we see it here in the cold, but still, we debate little stupid things, and how come we can't put our heads together and fix this? I don't get it.
Is this the role? Is these issues that we point out, that we really, the things that we want to fix, are these the sole responsibility of our politicians, or do we as community members have a huge role to play in fixing some of these problems in our societies? Now I want to ask Naila, I don't know if you want to respond to that or piggyback of what Bill said earlier.
Yes, I believe it's all our responsibility, us as people. This is, you know, human characteristics, human nature. This is things that, like I said, the unity, the things that we need to be a part of. No one is going to take care of your home better than you are. You know, if you think about your house, you should take care of home first before you start helping others. It's not just the politicians' responsibility. We do have issues with homelessness. I also work with the supportive housing with the company that I'm at. And that's some of the things that we have a goal as well, helping both the youth and adults with not only housing them, but also making sure that they're self-sufficient and creating resources. And just off of my experience, there's not a lot of connectivity. We have a lot of waste going on. There's a crab in a barrel mentalities where, like I said, people are being more selfish than anything. Not sharing resources or scared to tap into their own resources. I mean, the list goes on. But you touched on it earlier and you were saying, you know, if you want to see some changes, you have to be the change. And that is what a lot of people have to connect with as well. If you want to see a change, you have to be the change you want to see.
Thank you for sharing, making it brief for us. It's 30 minutes past 7. You're watching the Progressive Mind Show. This is our last episode for 2022. And we want to really thank God for bringing us from the beginning of the year through this time. It has not been the most easiest thing to do. And so we really want to thank God, thank our audience, thank everyone that has supported us in person, in kind, in cash, people who have prayed for us. We really want to appreciate you. For those who have joined us, Empress Mausi, Rosalind Bates, joined the show so far. Thank you for being part of it. If you want to ring in and contribute to the show, it's 815-277-5047. We have two more people joining us in the person of, well, the name is that's Lisa. Okay, Alisa Music. So Alisa Music, Alisa Music is not her name. I think she's just Alisa. And then Trudy is back. Trudy, hopefully your computer behaves. Good to see you back. Much appreciated. Please, if you can share the feed now, if you're on Facebook, Progressive Minds, so that we can be part of ending 2022 on a very good note, and appreciating the maker for giving us the opportunity to do this community service. Thank you for the great point you made, Naila. And Bill, once again, I don't know if I acknowledge when you mentioned that low, which is a family member being diagnosed with cancer. Sorry to hear that. We're praying for speedy recovery. Elisa, because you just joined us, we'll give you the privilege to tell us your opinion, your reflections of 2022 quickly, your highs, your most high moment and your low, and then we can fuse it into what we have discussed so far. Please go ahead.
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Elisa Inez, and I am a songwriter. My highest high for this year, I'm grateful that there were so many highs for me.
Before your high, though, what is your reflection of the year in general?
My reflection of the year was that it was an amazing year. It was worth being here for it all. And I really just had a really good year with family, financially, spiritually. It was just a really good year. So my main thing in terms of a positive high was that my career was building in different areas from my songwriting, and also I do real estate. And so things were going pretty well for me in there. I would like to say that my lowest was losing my uncle this year. But the good thing about being together with a good, solid family, we were able to celebrate his life. And so, like the Bible says, my lowest lows were not so low because I have a higher hope and faith. So I really had a really good year this year.
Thank you for sharing, and sorry to hear about your loss. That's a beautiful soul that has gone to be with their maker, and so we're praying for strength. Logan Brown, thank you for joining in, saying hi. Say hi to you as well. The number is 815-277-5047. If you want to share your reflection of 2022, your highs and your lows, please feel free to do so. And I think we were talking about what should people be doing at the end of the year? What should we be focusing on as a people? And we ask everybody else, Trudy and Elisa, we'll give you the opportunity to respond to this quickly as well. So we want to hear your opinion. What should society be focusing on when the year ends around this time? I mean, when the year ends. I'll start with you, Trudy, quickly.
Well, my focus right now is like totally helping Bill and trying to help address the issues that he wants to address, because ever since I started working with him, we walked the neighborhood and he showed me so much of the crumbling infrastructures, the rats running in and out of buildings, and metro tracks, and the railroad stations, sidewalks, etc. So finally, hopefully, we will be able to address these problems, because Bill, being an alderman, can put his foot down and get things done. That is the what an alderperson is able to do, and I really want to help Bill make all these changes that he showed to me. The sidewalks that have trip hazards, and the homelessness, the homeless encampment, and the infrastructure. There's so much that we need done, and the alderperson is able to do this as long as we communicate with the departments, ask that this has to be done, and it will be done as long as we ask for it. And then third, I am very, very positive, and I know that the good things are to come, because there is so much that needs to be done, and people are telling us all the time about what we've seen, and it's affecting them, and the residents do want the change, and we've asked them. We don't want to just say this is what we want. We speak with the residents, and they tell us the same thing. They're very concerned about all these things that Bill has been concerned about even before he met me. But he showed me. We walked around and around the neighborhood. I always get lost. I don't know how it is. I always turn the wrong street.
Let me get Bill's response to what some of the things I've just mentioned. You've said a lot, the very powerful things. Now, because I don't want to miss it, I want Bill to respond to this. How has the campaign been for you so far?
Campaign has been wonderful. We have a lot of people who see the issues and want the change. It's issues based, and the issues over the past 4 years have not been getting done. The potholes, we have artists that come in and do murals inside the potholes now with tiles. They've been there that long. They're doing mural art in the potholes. The infrastructure, you could see the bare rusting metal because the concrete is gone. The rats are all over the place. And you could see them on the streets and crossing the streets and all around buildings. These are real issues in our community. And I'm so happy I got to walk around and show her firsthand what is going on. When we came home to our apartment, the police were looking for shell casings, bullet shell casings one evening. And we didn't hear that on the news, and that's a scary thing. There's so many things going on, and the dumpsters are like open, and the rats are having a feeding frenzy. And they multiply very quickly. Short lifespans, and they multiply quickly. And you know what? I've always walked the neighborhood over the past 20 years and been like very observant about the issues. But working with Trudy over the past 5 years has been amazing, and we're really making it happen now, and I'm thankful.
How optimistic are you, both Bill and Trudy, with regards to your campaign winning the office? Bill, quickly, how optimistic are you?
Extremely optimistic. I just had a dream that I won. And I think and we have an excellent chance of winning. The incumbent is got a lot of baggage going on, and I've got the experience in our community that it will take to fix these issues in our neighborhood, and I'm being very vocal about it. I'm very positive about the change, but we're going to make it happen.
Same question, Trudy, quickly. How optimistic are you?
Can you hear me? I see that my picture has frozen.
I think so. Yeah, we can hear you, but you're frozen. So if you don't mind responding, we can hear you.
Yes, yeah, I'm very optimistic. We have this wonderful campaign headquarters that we're at Leona's, the former Leona's restaurant. I think that you know, that's helped us so much because we brought in so much of the community to work with us and talk with us and just build this team. And I'm very optimistic because we need to for Bill to be in office. I lately, we looked again at some of the overpasses that Bill and Bill was talking about. We see the rebar is it's rusted. We need to get in there and address the problems such as these before the rebar in those overpasses are rotten so bad that the overpass collapses and there will be a tragedy. So
Okay.
Bill just needs to get in there and resolve the issues such as these.
Okay, thank you, Bill. What are you showing us? You.
I'm showing you a spread of our campaign headquarters. This was the flagship restaurant for all of the Leonas. There were 8 of them left. This is the largest one where they made all the dough. We've got like 2 parking lot, 80 parking spaces, and it's a quarter of the block. So
Okay.
I'm very fortunate to have an excellent, large campaign space for big events and a big campaign.
Okay, so Bill is ready. With this size of an office to run his campaign, you can already predict the outcome of the elections. If sizes are anything to go by. Bill, I think we are all optimistic for you. And you can, if you have a few minutes to stick around with us, please feel free to do so. We want to hear from Victor with regards to the question we posed earlier. If you want to respond to it. I know I didn't give it a chance. Please go ahead, Victor.
Yeah, so to respond to the question you posed earlier about what people should be doing
Exactly.
at the end of the year.
Yeah, I'll focus.
Yeah, no problem. So I think it varies from person to person. I'm not really a fan of like one size fits all advice. Some people like to have a more celebratory approach. I think that's fine. Other people like to have a more reflective approach. I think that's fine. It really just, I think you have to find what's best suited for you and, work to optimize that. Me personally, I think the mindset that I like to have going into a new year is just, how can I make this year better than the last year? How can I grow in meaningful ways and just become a better version of myself? And it's almost kind of like, having like the same reflective space that you're in, like when it's your birthday, right? You realize that you're getting a little older. You're not going to be as young as you used to be. So I think my approach is just trying to like set manageable, reachable goals that you can accomplish in the year. Be reflective of what you did this past year, where your shortcomings were. Reflect on the losses, and also reflect on the joys and good experiences, and try to replicate those, or just try to make sure more of those happen. I mean, it's okay to pop champagne, celebrate, safely, of course. But I just think it's really beneficial to head into a new year with some sort of, attainable goal for growth and change too. Because I don't believe that you just going into a new year without any, any aspirations to grow or change is really useful. So
Right.
I think.
And we can safely also add that part of what people should be doing at the end of the year is saving more money instead of spending it on maybe Christmas gift or holiday season gifts, saving that money to plan for the next Mexico trip, right?
Very true. I need to do it a lot, but
Because once you go to Mexico, you want to go again, and so it's at the
But
end of
not
the year you want to make sure.
necessarily
Sorry.
saving. Not necessarily just saving, but find other ways to invest so we could continue to have more vacations and
Oh, great,
that
great.
part, that part.
I was pulling my brother's leg, but you made a great point. You made a great point
Stop
out of
pulling. I
that.
have to help him. I have to help him out. Stop pulling that.
Yeah, I'm feeling guilty about being out there on the beach, but it's okay.
I don't know,
Look,
Captain
I
Mike. I don't
just
know.
put up there like
No,
Mexico is calling me.
brilliant, Captain Mike. I don't know if you had your hand up or something, but
No, I was just
He said that's it right
co-signing the
there.
point here. Co-signing.
What are we grateful for? Before we do that, there's a comment here, and I want to read this. This is DJ Kenny. This is interesting. I did not know elections are coming up for the 49th ward. This is my ward, and I have not seen posters. Just learning about Bill Morton on this program. Bill, this is one of your people. Before you respond to him, and I know you might want to. How long is this the first time you're trying to run for this office?
This is the second time I tried to run for older person. I got knocked off the ballot the first time, rookie mistakes. But now I've gone through all these mistakes and I've learned from my mistakes. And we got enough signatures and we weren't challenged, so I'm on the ballot.
Okay, one of your ward members just made a comment. Do you want to respond to him?
Please. The election is on February 28th of 2023. There will be early voting. You can vote by mail. There's different ways to vote. You know what? Just come on over to Leona's on Sheridan and we'll walk you through it. We'll walk you through it. Find me and we'll walk you through it. And also, if this election, if the incumbent gets less than 50%, then we'll have a runoff election on April 4th as well. Okay. And it's going to be, I believe it's going to be a great day.
Thank you for sharing. I think that it's 7:33. We need a little bit. We'll try and wrap up so you all can go have rest for tomorrow. How many is still on vacation and has not resumed work yet? Is anybody on this platform in that situation? Okay, so Naila. Okay, so most of us are, regular folks. We have to go and work for, our bosses.
I was like, let me stop false flagging. I'm on medical leave, but still,
When I resumed today, what I noticed? Most of the bosses are on vacation, and that gave me a lot of motivation. I'm like, one day I'm gonna be a boss of my company. I'm gonna be a CEO, so that I can also take a long vacation and not have to come to work right after Christmas. That was just by the way. It's not. But I'm looking at the fact that we all have to go and get a rest. But the great conversation so far. And I want to ask this question first, but I think it'll be fair for me to also state my highs and lows. Highs for this year, 2022, has been growth. First of all, life. Great things that I'm grateful for when I reflect on 2022. My life, the life of my family. Mom fell one time in the bathroom. Heard the news from my sister, but it wasn't anything serious. So apart from that, nothing serious happened to me, any family member. I'm grateful for that. My high, I would say, is the fact that I'll say the high. Let me put it this way: my two of my sisters had great news. One of them had her first child, and one of my other sisters got married. So I'll say those are my highs. The low for this 2022 is a very, very good friend of mine, somebody I can easily call a brother. We're brothers, just that we're not from the same parents. He for all these years I'd known him, had no idea that he was suffering from severe depression. and as a result, he neglected a couple things in his personal life, including his health, which led him to be admitted at the intensive care unit with a very terminal illness. Let me just put it that way. And he's struggling for his life. Thank God that he's no longer at a critical point where we have to be scared for his life. We're only waiting for him to recover and come back to the community to continue the work that he loved to do, which is to serve people. If you know this guy and you've seen the work he's done, you would want him to come back. All he desires is to help people. All he loves to, all he desires is to help veterans. This is a guy that you can call, not just me saying this, but everybody that knows this person will say this about him. You'll call him at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 1 p.m., and he will leave everything he's doing and come to your aid. This is the kind of man that I'm talking about, who had to suffer a very severe illness. And for the past 2 months, he has been bedridden. And the best he can do is to open his eyes. And this is from a man who's all over the place helping people and working hard to serve society. And so that was a very, very low point for me, 2022, having to see him. How we even found him at the hospital is a whole story. But when we found him, to see him every day at the hospital and leaving, coming back home, he had to take the grace of God, to master the strength to come home and sleep and then go about my life. And but we're thankful that he's no longer at that critical point. Like I said, we're seeing gradual progress. So that's me that's about my reflection of 2022, my high and lows. In all of it, I am grateful to God. I'm thankful for the life that I have, life of my family, and the rest of my close friends, and also the team members of Progressive Minds. Really want to thank someone like Angie, who's my co-host, Naila, who has been helping with program management of the Progressive Minds, personally helping manage administrative things and projects. And so, Naila, thank you so much. Angie's, of course. You want to say hi to everybody so they know I'm talking about you. And then Naila, please. Captain Mike, I am grateful, very, very grateful. I thank God for your life, man. I'm aside everybody here, you were the one I've known longest, and you've been consistent. Your commitment, your passion, your friendship is genuine. You were a good man aside your profession, and I know your family is very proud of the man that you are, very valuable to our society. So I really want to thank you. For those who are not watching, who are not here, as the graphic designers, video editors, Emmanuel, all of you, I really want to thank you for being part of the Progressive Mind Show and helping us get to this year. We know that next year will be bigger, and so we're looking forward to it. And I just wanted to get that out there. Having said all of this, are there any people that we want to let go this year? People who have hurt us? I think let's take the opportunity to, talk about forgiveness, right? And letting these things go for 2022 as we enter 2023. How crucial is that for all of us? Let me start with Elisa.
Okay, yes, forgiveness is the key to freeing yourself, right? So I think that it is very important to do that and to be reasonable within how you forgive, because forgiveness doesn't necessarily mean that you have to get back in a relationship with someone, but it does mean letting go and moving forward and not letting that negative energy or that grudge stay within you, so that you can continue to move forward. Because I think it's just important to do that, to be able to be free and to live in such a way where you're, kind of lifted high and let go of the burden of unforgiveness. So yeah, I think you're right. It's very key, especially at this time of year as well. I think you're on mute.
You're right. Whilst you are at it, what are you grateful for? And if you want to mention one or two people, some specific names that you really want to appreciate.
I'm really grateful for my parents, Mr. and Mrs. McLaughlin. They live down in Mississippi, and I am most grateful for them. I'm grateful to have them still in my life. And yeah, there's nothing like being able to stay connected with your mom and dad, especially as you get older and you realize that you're turning into your mom and dad and certain tastes and decisions that you make. So yeah, that's who I'm most grateful for.
Thank you so much. Mom and Dad, thanks for giving us a great person. I'm sure hopefully they're listening and they're proud of everything you've done. I know you're a musician, so before we close out, you may want to give us something, to soothe our soul. For those of us who are coughing, we need something to soothe us. So you may want to give us a line. We want to wrap up the conversation this evening. So Trudy, if you can hear us, who are you, what are you grateful for? Are there any few names you want to mention quickly?
Oh, of course. I'm most grateful for Bill and also for my new friends. My new friends. I don't know if someone was knocking on my door. But anyway, I am grateful for my new friends and of course for Bill and he's my best friend now. And I had no idea that when I started working with him, now he's my best friend, and I'm very, very grateful for him. And of course, you mentioned earlier about forgiveness. Sometimes, when we're living together, it's two different people. Sometimes personalities clash, and when I find that, I just let Bill know how I feel, and then I just remain silent, and it goes away. And it's not really that hard to forgive when you really care. So I really look forward to the new year and accomplishing even more what we have done in 2022. And
Awesome.
I what Victor said about every person having a different measurement of what is considered accomplishment. So
Right. Thank you.
Appreciate everybody's comments.
Thank you so much for sharing. Let's go up from there. We'll go up and come all the way. So Bill, forgiveness, and then of course your closing remarks.
Well, you can be very angry about people's actions. You can be very angry, especially if people's lives are on the line, and you hold them responsible. But if you're looking to go to the next level and progress with your life and to move forward, you can't have that as an anchor around your ankle. So, and you don't have to say you forgive them, and you don't have to, like you said, you don't have to be friends with them, but you gotta let it go somehow. And in my own way, that's forgiveness.
Thank you for sharing. Any particular person that you want to appreciate, that you're grateful for this year?
Oh, Trudy, okay. Hands down, Trudy.
That was a trick question. but great job. Thank you for sharing, Bill. Naila.
So I'm doing what I'm grateful for.
Yes.
I have a lot to be grateful for. I have a lot of gratitude. Like I said earlier, this year alone was a very challenging year with the good, the bad, the ugly. And literally earlier this year was when I started my first treatment. And just off of those, the treatments, I got really ill and sick from it, where I wasn't able to talk, I wasn't able to walk, I wasn't able to feed myself, I wasn't able to pretty much anything that you can think of that you can do for yourself and be self-sufficient, I was not able to do. And I had to lean on so many others. So I'm really grateful that I don't look like what I've been through, and I'm able to walk, talk, eat slowly, you know, getting back to having somewhat of a normal lifestyle. You're on mute.
I'm sorry. Are there some? I keep doing that because we're getting feedback, so I have to mute some people and mute myself. So my pardon me, guys. But are there any names that you would want to throw out there?
Absolutely. Of course, my parents, even though my father is deceased, I know he's still, you know, looking out for his baby girl.
May so rest in peace.
Yeah, thank you. My family, like my mom's side, my dad's side, my cheer family now, like the community of people that really came together and showed me some love.
Okay.
Appreciate them.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm sure Zia too. Today was her birthday?
Oh, Zaya, Christmas was her birthday.
Okay. All right. I purposely, said that so that, just to say happy birthday to her.
she'll probably hear it. So I'll show her later and she's going to be like, oh my God.
Yes, she has to be appreciated. Great. You have great children and you've done well in raising them and everything you do for the other children too, so really want to give you kudos for doing that. Next year, we're praying that you get the funding that you need to do more for these young kids. Angela, please.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Angela, thank you. Yeah.
Okay. I am grateful for just having a tremendous support system. I'm grateful for all of you who are here. I was noticing Mr. Morton. I'm like, is he in the Army? Because he's been standing the whole time. So, but to answer your question, I'm just grateful for life. I'm grateful to be able to get up every day that God allows me to part my eyes, to give life another shot. And I'm particularly grateful for my son, who has definitely been, the epitome of what determination looks like. He motivates me. He looks out for me. He's a protector. He provides in his own little way. And
what's your son's first name?
My son, Junior, I call him Junior. His real name is Anthony, but Junior is what I call him.
Awesome. Okay.
So quick story is, I didn't get a tree. I didn't get lights. I didn't get any Christmas stuff. And I just wanted to make sure that what I'm teaching him is being ingrained. And so he didn't get any Christmas gifts. And we were able to buy and go and help other people. He never complained once. He never looked, somehow, he's only 15 years old. And, it was very, very rewarding for me to feel like, okay, he's hearing me. So now that, he's done such an amazing job with, showing me that he is retaining some of what I'm teaching him, it was nice to be able to reward him after Christmas, without any regrets. So
right.
I'm very grateful for that.
That's very powerful. Forgiveness. I didn't give you the chance quickly because of time. Nyla, I want you to respond to forgiveness too, but Angie, since we're on you, your quick response to forgiveness.
That has always been a weak area of mine. And so this year I am really working hard to show forgiveness.
Okay.
Because I know that I've been forgiven. And so forgiveness is a priority for me right now.
Okay. Naila, please, quickly.
Okay. I actually was just about to text. I do have to say another thing that I'm grateful for real quick with the U.S. United pageant family. Forgot about my queens. Very grateful for them as well because that's also something that I did this year. I competed in both state and national and won the national title. So I wanted to definitely shout out my queens and my pageant family. Forgiveness is very, very powerful. Forgiveness is a skill. Forgiveness is a choice. But the most important thing is to free yourself. It's really for you. And you just have to choose. Now, a lot of things you're not going to forget. Of course, you might have some type of trauma or, ill feelings towards it. But I would just say heal from it. But definitely choose to forgive, because you'll be grateful for that in the long run.
Awesome. Victor, people that you're grateful for quickly, and then forgiveness, and then we can go to Mike so we can wrap up.
Grateful for you guys. Thank you for having me on this show, of course. But definitely just grateful for my family, my mom, dad, sister. Always just been there for me. Just really, especially this year, they've really just shown how much they love and like support me. And just the older I get, the more I realize how important they are to me. A girlfriend, she's been, very supportive and, just been with me, through this journey. So very thankful for her. Thankful for my friends too, here in Chicago and, outside of Chicago, but, just the people that I've been able to, spend time with, grow with, learn with. I'm really thankful for those people and, people that I, get to have fun with too. So, I think that's very important because that's what helps you at the end of the year reflect on those, fun times and the people that you've been able to, really make and share memories with. So as far as forgiveness, I really like with what Nyla said. It is an internal thing. Like, I think people ask for forgiveness, but really forgiveness is an act for yourself. Like it's a healing act for yourself. And I think it is a skill, again, like Nyla said, that you have to practice. It's one thing to say that you forgive someone, but I think to truly forgive someone, it takes time. It's almost, it's almost like grieving. It occurs in stages. And ultimately, it is a choice. You don't have to forgive people or someone, but I definitely think you'll be better off. And again, it's all circumstantial, but
right.
There's healing in forgiveness because you're letting go of a weight of, or holding a grudge, but you're letting go of a weight of having ill feelings towards someone, because that can weigh on you. So I think that's what I think about forgiveness.
Thank you so much, Victor. When you were appreciating people, you mentioned a couple of people, your parents, and I heard you correctly. If I didn't hear correctly, please let me know. You said girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
What's her name?
Her name is Maya.
There you go. And we have to give the names. We have to call out the names. Maya, wherever you are, thank you for doing a great job by keeping our brother sane. Okay. I'm just joking, but no, thank you for sharing. And I know Maya is happy to have a great man like you, and vice versa. In 2023, what we're hoping is that you would announce your wedding day on this show, hopefully. But in the next year,
day at a time.
Okay, great. In the years to come, we'll be talking more about family relationship within minority communities, especially Black communities, because we it's something that is dear to our heart and to this platform. Captain Mike, please. Who you were appreciative of, and forgiveness quickly.
Well, one thing quick, got to be careful when you ask some girlfriend's name, because had he forgotten, you'd been in real trouble, and then we'd really be talking about some forgiveness.
Look, you have to come.
Those questions.
You have to come ready.
I was just waiting on Victor to tag me in, like, you want me to handle your lightweight? Like,
look.
Yeah, I say
trouble out here, but it's all good.
Yeah, I'm grateful for, of course, my wife, family, friends, and just life in general. Hey, I'm healthy. I have food. No serious health problems. So I'm grateful. I'm easy. Awesome. As far as forgiveness, I'm gonna have to go with something my mom taught me when she turned 50, and this year I turned 50. is that I'm half 100. There's not that much out there that bothers me. So it would take a lot to get me to a point where I have to even forgive anybody. So, I mean, right off the top of my head, I can't think of anybody I have to forgive because, you know, once you get to this point, there's not much that gets to you. You've seen a lot, and you're kind of grateful for the good things. So the bad things just kind of pass along. So I'm grateful for all of the good things, and you know, I just kind of let the bad bounce off of me as much as possible.
And you know, brother, I gotta come back at you. You mentioned your wife. We gotta get some names, man. First name at least.
See, now you're trying to get me in trouble. No, Carlita, of course, and my dad, Art Askew. My mom passed, you know, 12 years ago, but you know, LaWanda. Well, and my sister Michelle, and everybody else knows who they are. So.
Guys, I really want to thank you all. If anybody missed something that you want to get out, please do so right now. Is anybody that missed a name or something? Okay. Right. If not, I really want to appreciate you for those who came in late, like the Alisas, the Trudys, our late comers. No, they didn't come late. They informed me they were going to come at this time. So nobody came late. We're all on point. I really want to appreciate you all for coming. 2022 has been a blessing, and we profess 2023 even a bigger blessing for all of us. And everything that your heart desires, all of you on this show, your heart desires should be met in 2023. It's my prayer for you, your family, your loved ones. It's my prayer for our audience and all our followers, our supporters. Excuse me. I'm trying to fight this cough. So actually pray for me and Angie because we've been battling with some cough. I mean, for the past days. So everyone that's sick, pray for all of them. But on a more serious note, I just really want to I can't thank you all enough, because I understand that this thing we do is not only the fact that we want to do it. If not for your support, your love, your prayers, this work is very difficult. As easy as it may seem, to come here every Wednesday and try to get these things done, and to even go ahead and do this community events, regardless, it takes a lot of effort, not just us, not just me, Senna, here, but some of the people that I've mentioned on this show, and those that you have not seen that are behind the scenes. People like Sister Africa, I want to thank you. Otis, one of our board of directors, and all the board of directors of Progressive Minds. Sean Tanner, I can't thank you enough. Bill, I'm sure you know who Sean Tanner is. And everybody that has been part of our success so far and helping us get through 2022. The Progressive Mind Show, want to extend our gratitude to you all. And we are praying that 2023 will bring us much tidings and greater success, so that collectively we can make our societies a better place. This has been your host, Senna, aka Alinko, now with our co-host, Angie Mims. And then our sports, health, and fitness segment, Captain Mike. Captain Mike, we didn't see you. Great. And then now we have our programs manager and admin executive who's been helping things run, Naila Ali. Once again, thank you. So on that note, I want to say thank you all guests for coming this evening. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Bill will be supporting you in your campaign. We hope that you can come back here and get some more of your message out. Remember, to whom much is given, much is required. Guys, have a wonderful evening. See you all. See you all in 2023.
Yes.
Okay.
Happy New Year.
Thank you very much.
Happy New Year.
Here.
Cheers.
Happy
Bye.
New Year.
Yep. Thank you.
See you next year.